Welcome to the Ravens Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Ravens Space Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We have 3 news stories to get into. One of them is very sad. Please subscribe to the Ravens Space on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed for the greatest Baltimore Raven content on the internet. Also, check out our Patreon page, and a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers. And now we're going to hop into the first story of the day, which is about Kenneth Dixon. Kenneth Dixon tore his meniscus and is getting surgery to repair it on Tuesday. This is another setback. I don't believe this has been officially reported yet or announced, but sources have said that this is a thing that's happened. And it's super sad news for Kenneth Dixon. He already had some setbacks that he had to overcome this season because of his suspension, and the injury just makes it worse. Again, you guys know how I feel about Kenneth Dixon. I thought that he made it hard on himself. Especially with the addition of Danny Woodhead. And even though he's the most talented running back, in my opinion, on the Ravens roster, that, you know, he needed everything he can get because the other ones were more experienced. But with this injury, it's even more of a setback. And again, as a running back who really, you only get to 30 years, you know, statistically, then you hit a drop off. And every year is important. And now Kenneth Dixon, you know, may not have a good year this year because of this. I don't see any reports of whether he's out for the season or not, but I do know that it is a torn meniscus, which, you know, is not a joke, right? No injury is a joke. So terrible news for Kenneth Dixon. Another setback, and this is, I believe, his third knee injury in like the last 14, 15 months. It's just not a good thing for Kenneth. And, you know, this is not the news that I want to report on. I want to report on the good news for the Ravens, but sometimes bad things like this happen. Let me know what you think about the Kenneth Dixon in the comments, and how do you think this injury will affect his career and the Baltimore Ravens? Will they bounce back? Let me know. And now the next story kind of teeters on that one and jumps off about the Ravens signing Bobby Rainey. If you guys don't remember, Bobby Rainey was a running back who had some good years when he was in Tampa Bay, came over to the Ravens, didn't make a long stay. But again, is a running back that you can call. He can help you out. Similar to the Griff Whalen signing, where when a receiver got injured, we called him in, he helped out. Same thing, right? A running back gets injured, you call him Bobby Rainey, right? And so Bobby Rainey is a journeyman in the NFL, very similar to a Forsett. He's been on several teams, the Ravens, the Buccaneers, the Giants. He's been all around the NFL. And so he's going to come in and try to help and compete to make the team. I don't think he'll make the team. Again, because of the running backs the Ravens have. And I really do think this is a detriment on running backs that we have, like Buck Allen and Taliaferro, because the Ravens currently right now have 5 running backs at training camp. And to add 6 is kind of, it's a lot. And so what it tells me is that they don't have confidence in Taliaferro at running back and Buck Allen at running back. So let's get Bobby Rainey in here to see if he can make a stand and help perform for the Ravens. Now Bobby Rainey is 29 years old. Hopefully he adds some depth at running back and in the return game. We just don't know how it's going to play out yet. Let me know in the comments below if you think Bobby Rainey is going to make the team. I think it's going to be tough for him because I do like Taquan Mizzell. And again, I like Buck Allen, but John Harbaugh and the Ravens don't like Buck Allen. I don't get it, but hey, let the cookies fall where they may. Let me know in the comments your opinion. And the third article of the day is some good news. Some good news for the Ravens. Maxx Williams is back on the field. You guys know how I feel about Maxx Williams. I'm not too enchanted by him, but he is a young player that can still develop into something that's great if the right training and his body holds up. And so he's back on the field. You know, he gave all the cliches, said that he feels better than ever. He's more healthy than he's ever been. All the good stuff. Now, you know, I don't want to hear the talk. I just want to see him on the field. Can he beat out Ben Watson? Can he beat out Nick Boyle? And can he beat out Crockett Gilmore? I believe this is last year of his rookie deal. So if he doesn't put up, you know, he'll be on another team next season. I think Nick Boyle will outperform him, but he has a chance to prove me wrong and to prove all his doubters wrong. So I like him. You know, I have never heard anything bad about him as a guy, but as a football player, your best ability is availability, and he has not been available for the Baltimore Ravens. I know what you guys are thinking, that the Ravens have some terrible injury karma, and I'm with you. Again, this is a good situation with Maxx Williams coming back, But to be honest, Maxx Williams is very, very injury prone. And one more injury and he might be out the league, similar to a Dennis Pitta. And with this, with our tight end situation due to injuries, we just don't know. Our running back, Kenneth Dixon, it just got injured. It's a lot. But again, it is good news that Maxx Williams is back and he can help contribute to the Baltimore Ravens tight end group. And like we do at the end of every single RavensSpace Daily, we have a mailbag question. And this question comes from Ethan. And Ethan asks, do you think that Marlon Humphrey will take over Carr's second corner position at some point this season? Thank you so much for your question, Ethan. And I do not. Now, I do know that you guys like Marlon, and I like Marlon too. Didn't like him at that pick. I thought there were other players, but I like Marlon nonetheless. The issue I have is that Brandon Carr is very consistent, and that's what the Ravens want at that position right now. I think that Marlon Humphrey is more injury reassurance than anything else right now. Now, maybe he'll move into the slot and play well there. I would not put my money on it, but maybe that does happen. I see him as injury, reassurance. Jimmy Smith goes down, you plug him in, and then you still have a formidable cornerback operation there. So that's what I think. Now, is it possible that Brandon Carr plays badly and then Humphrey steps in? Yes. But if you watch Brandon Carr film, if you watch tape, his main issue is the one-on-one, right? He is the worst when you get him on an island. And not saying that most cornerbacks excel there, but you'll see Brandon Carr get beat deep because when he's on that island, he jumps routes and he tries to make plays and get interceptions and things like that, and then he gets beat over the top. However, with Eric Weddle and Tony Jefferson there, I don't think that's going to happen a lot. So I think that they're going to let Brandon Carr be Brandon Carr, play physical, and then, make opportunities where they happen, and that'll be good enough for the Ravens. I think he won't get hurt, so I don't think Humphrey will have a chance to get on there. So I just think that Humphrey just won't get a chance. I think Brandon Carr will play well enough, in order to keep his job. You don't have to play great, you just don't have to play bad. And I don't think Brandon Carr will play bad. I think he'll be even keel and be okay. And that is the end of today's episode of RavensSpace Daily. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, we always post great videos here on the RavensSpace. We have new things coming, so please be ready. It's going to be awesome. I'll let you guys know when things are ready. And if you're not a Patreon subscriber and you want this information first, join Patreon. We do a lot of different things, including a newsletter that goes out bi-monthly where I tell you what's happening with the RavensSpace before everyone else knows. So thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.